I had to take a moment to calm down and because there's so much excitement that it's coming out of me and my cheeks are hurting.
Mm,
And I've been there she is. And she just showed up.
yeah.
Um, and I have been feeling your presence all morning. And I woke up bright and early at 7 a.m. And I just sat, and your presence was just in my field.
Mm.
And I couldn't help but start writing about it and start feeling into it. And I am love drunk. But I have been love drunk since
Mhm.
retreat.
Yes.
And I didn't know how to approach again our connection without making it weird, right? So it almost feels so private and so
Mm.
sacred and so evolved and
Yeah.
so familiar. It
Thank
feels homey.
you.
It
Mhm.
feels loving, caring. It feels so sacred to me.
Yes.
And I really, really wanted you almost selfishly to come and touch me again,
Mm.
where your heart comes and blends with mine in the space for us to create a portal that something else can come in because it's so potent.
Ah, I'm here
And
for it.
and then I enter in Zoom and you're just meditating, you're in your own zone, you're grounding, you're inviting your support system to come in. You
Mm.
almost do it unquestionably, unapologetically, and so truthfully to you because it
Mm.
is your value. It is you.
Oh.
So welcome, welcome again. This is our
Wow.
this is our second podcast. I lost the first one. I have no idea why, but I guess it's just divinely guided. And I really wanted you to be here with me and be and share yourself with the world because you're so beautiful in and out, and you are just a elegant love walking around on
Mm.
earth. And it would be I can't forgive myself if I don't bring you to the world because you're something. Hi. Welcome.
Oh my gosh. I am like forever in that realm of just like coming up behind you at retreat and just wrapping my arms around you and feeling that connection. I hope that's okay for me to bring us
Yeah,
back to that moment. But
please.
yeah, it just felt so like tender and powerful and magnetic and right. And I feel like we're right back there. Like I can feel you in against my chest and my arms and like against my face. It's just so beautiful. So thank you for inviting me here and for giving me even more glow and making my cheeks feel like they're bursting as well. So yeah,
I
it's
love
a
it.
treat. Yeah, thank
I
you.
love it. It's such a powerful energy exchange,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so innocent and so pure, and it doesn't ask for forms, control. It asks for time on its own. It asks for space and attuned body and intuition guidance. It's almost like you have to, how did you know? And we can go back to that moment. And we actually never talked about what happened.
Yeah, yes. I would love to hear from even your experience too. I felt
Yeah.
guided by you in that moment. Um, so yeah, would you like
Yeah.
to share what happened in that moment?
Yeah, maybe we can kick it off.
Mm-hmm.
So, on this retreat, and this is our third time seeing each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Third
I
time.
think so. Yes.
And we attended the retreat where it's this time was different, Lindsay. And this time I
Yeah.
was very inside of my body and
Mm-hmm.
very experiencing almost every parts that wanted to come to my awareness. And in that moment, that was our, I think, birthing process. Yes, birthing process where, or maybe even the last before you left the retreat
Um, Inner
or
child.
inner
Oh
child.
wait, there's two. There's two. There was one where I came to your head and held your head, and
Yeah.
then inner child, I it was you were just, that's a individual practice, and then I came and held you. So yeah, there were two.
Yeah. And I want to talk about the second one
Okay.
because the entire time my eyes are closed and I have no idea who's touching me and I
Hmm.
have no idea who's holding my space, but I
Hmm.
sensed you. And
Hmm.
here's the best. I knew immediately that that was you.
Hmm.
How did I know? I will never be able to understand how. I
Yeah.
just knew that was you. It was your presence. And I actually knew you entered into my field because you felt welcomed and you
Mm.
felt almost needed, right? To be able to be needed by someone is so pure and so raw. You know,
Mhm.
it's the quality that we don't get to experience all the time. We think I think I need you,
Yeah.
but to feel someone else needing your energy
Mhm.
and someone else welcoming it inside the presence and the space so you can alter my state because
Yes.
your presence altered my state. And what that did is shifted me into total trust and
Mm.
total surrender. And I had no idea. My mind
Mm.
didn't know that was you. I just knew in my body that that was you, as if
Yeah.
you already entered my body
Mhm.
before, entered my space, and you came to put just a tiny little, almost like a thin veil and layer of silk needed for me to be back in my body.
Yeah.
So,
Because there aren't words exchanged in this moment, and we aren't making eye contact. It's not like other body language of a summoning. Um, it's just a an energy. It is that field opened up, and I did feel welcomed. And usually, just so other people know in retreat, like I would say, "Hey, it's Lindsay. Like I'm here. May I place my hands on you?" And I felt that that would have disrupted the like I just it just felt I felt your welcoming presence, and I felt we had already like had an established, openness, and you had almost like a vampire, I have to get permission to be welcomed into your home. Like I felt like I had that invitation. So
yeah.
I I I trusted it. I trusted it. And it was such a beautiful experience for me as well, and for us, and just even the field at whole. I feel like when there's 100 people in the room, even our shifting in our own vibration, I truly believe like ripples out, and not only just for the people on either side, but for the whole field. It does translate into there's safety here, there's allowing here, we can drop deeper together, and it does truly create for the collective like such an elevation of like what can be, even without the words. And
Yeah.
um yeah, so that was my experience of it.
Yeah. And let's even enter even deeper into it if you're open to it. Now I'm
Oh yeah.
curious.
Yeah.
Um, I the pre like couple moments before you came to hug me and hold me, I
Mm.
had a blasting heart opening. But this
Mm.
time the energy came into my heart and it numbed my hands. So it got activated in my upper body and then it
Yeah.
shoot through my head.
Yes.
And then I ended up just floating off. And when I say floating off, I mean in such a blissful softness and almost like there was some sort of tenderness in my floating. But I
Mm.
knew, I was aware that I was in the body, but I was actually in a blissful state just going in. So as if I went up there, I just landed back. And then I started, and I
Mm.
talked to Nima about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't because I wasn't sure was I dissociating from the body
Mm.
or was I actually inside something we can call a void?
Mm.
Entered into the void, I almost relaxed my entire nervous system and I sat down. And then I just went into this vortex. It almost felt like vortex of infinity, and the time just became momentarily. And I don't know how long I stayed there, but I
Mhm.
know it was a minute. It was longer than the
Mhm.
couple of minutes. And then as I was almost going deeper and deeper into the void, no mind, no thought, no
Mm-hmm.
talk, no
Mm-hmm.
voice, nothing, just blissful, almost like floating in the ether.
Yeah.
You showed up. That's when you showed up. And when you showed up, it was a remembrance
Mm-hmm.
of the body, of the
Mm-hmm.
earth life, of me having the body to come back to. And as if you just kind of guided me right. You were to me, you were like, this is her. And you grabbed me and you held your hands on my heart. And I just
Yeah.
grabbed them over. And you
Yes.
were to me that guide, that angel that
Mm-hmm.
came back for me. So
Wow.
that was my experience. And I just want to know, how did you find me in that moment? And what did you experience?
Oh, wow. I just like I was traveling with you as you just shared that heart-opening, like ethereal experience. And I'm like I say at the beginning of the retreats when we share a prayer with all of the like on the very first day in opening ceremony, the people on staff get to share like what is your prayer for everyone here to remember and to know. And I say, like, everything that happens here is for you, like all of it. There are no mistakes. And I'm also saying that to myself to remind me, like, this is all for all of us. So, even as I'm listening to you share, like this beautiful, expansive experience where you were in your body, a part of, my logical mind is like, oh, did I, bring you back too soon? Or because we don't know, but I think that's the beauty of it is like we're not using our logical mind. It's not like a step-by-step process. It's really like trusting in the resonance of each other's nervous system and being called by like a deeper knowing. So something in me I saw, and because we know each other, I also like to sometimes give a little bit more extra space to people that are participating in the retreat. Like I don't want to, be like, oh, we're already friends. I'm just gonna like come in. Like I like to make sure that the resonance is really there for like the sweet times that I do drop in because it's like I trust you, I know you. I want to come and just like bring a little bit of like elevation to it and something in the field just especially being in the inner child experience session, there is a different quality in that session than there is in the breathwork sessions or even we do jade egg in the morning as you know, but this one is a quality that I find of reminding people of their truest North Star and anchor as like from another, like in that like best friend resonance, like peer to peer, sister to sister, like royal to royal. And I try to give the essence of like reminding people that they know exactly who they are. And I am bringing that within myself to be like, I know who I am, and I am here as a mirror to remind you that you do too. Because the experience of the inner child is to kind of regress, go back into some harder times where you might have felt alone or abandoned or didn't have all of the tools. And so what I feel is I'm the archetype to be like of you do have the tools, and I'm here to like anchor you back into the truest you. And you'll see that in my eyes, you'll feel that in my presence. Like I am another you. The term in Lakesh, you are me, I am you. Like
Mm.
that's what I bring to that session, that energy. And I just felt like we were time traveling, like from me being there as another inner child with your inner child to present day and even like beyond, our highest selves that we haven't even like, we only know because we are knowers, but we haven't like seen yet in our logical minds. So like I try to like expand time with all of that and then like collapse it into that embrace, into that anchor, into the field, into the resonance.
Yeah. And you said something so interesting because it's like you own it. There's a
Mm,
full ownership in you, which becomes so concrete and
mm,
steady. And to experience such a versatility and have no experience is the same, it's always different and it always leads you somewhere.
yeah.
And it's never repetitive form of how it shows up in a visual, in a sensation, in the auditory. It's
Mhm,
always different. And you never know.
mhm.
Nobody knows where we are headed. But what you said is like, I have this ownership of how I am, who
Mhm.
I am, and
Yeah.
what I know of me.
Yeah.
And that is so true to me and so concrete that
Mm.
by you just doing that, I can sense the concreteness in you. You become the mountain and I
Yes.
get to lean on.
Yes.
And how did you? So now I'm curious because you are where you are at the moment in your life, and you can
Yeah.
disclose if you wish.
Yeah.
But did this inner world started creating itself recently, or is this is new for you?
Mm-hmm.
And are you discovering these parts of your concreteness now when your role is slowly and very patiently changing
Mm.
into readiness for it?
Wow. Yes. Um, I'll disclose just so people listening can also like be in on it with us is that I am pregnant right now. I'm 5 months pregnant, and I think that's what you are, yeah, nodding to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so will you ask me again now that we can use, that
Okay.
I consent to using the word pregnancy?
There is the inner world inside of you.
Hmm.
And but there's also the one that you're learning about, not only of yourself. Now you have two hearts. You
Hmm.
have two hearts. You have
Yeah.
two life forces coming in you and becoming together. And as it grows, as the creation inside of you is growing, so are you evolving with it?
Hmm.
And the way you spoke about coming with the inner child, but with that ownership of yourself as a concrete structure, structure is such a harsh word to use
Hmm.
in this
Yeah.
space, but almost like a temple,
Mm.
unbreakable ancient temple that never breaks. There's no temple is the treasure space of all the knowledge that there is of you. And
Hmm.
if your body and your presence is a concrete ancient temple, and I can feel it,
Yeah.
who I am not even in your body,
Yeah.
is this new awareness inside your body? Is it becoming as
Hmm.
you are evolving in your pregnancy because your role is now changing? There's so much that is changing inside of you because
True.
you, to me, are different from last year. And this
Hmm.
is how, and if you remember how we talked, our first podcast was all over the place, right? We were
Yeah.
just like, ah. But this one is so concrete. And Lindsay, it's
Hmm.
you. And I'm just mutably adapting to you, but you also initiate this in me. So there's something that is coming out of you. Is this new knowledge? Is this new
Hmm.
discovery of you? And is it accidentally on purpose happening because you're to become a mom?
Yeah. Yeah. And I appreciate you seeing that in me so deeply because it has been a journey to become a mom. And for me, my journey even started 2 years ago. I've had three miscarriages before this one. So even the times that you saw me before in my leadership role at the Layla Martin retreats is I think the last time you saw me, I had had a miscarriage a week before.
Mm.
So that so having though you talked about the temple and it was like, yeah, I felt like I was building a temple and it wasn't the right time or for whatever reason, like the temple didn't have the qualities, the stability, the structure even to sustain. And so I've been like building and unbuilding and building and unbuilding and then building and unbuilding and now I'm building and it's the time. There's the ecosystem, there's the trust. But think during all of those times, even though there was some times of unbuilding the temple that I didn't see coming at all, there was always this inner trust. I just kept tuning back into myself, asking myself, you know, do I still trust my body? And it was always a yes. It was always a yes amongst all of the grief and all of the confusion and all of like the pain and the disappointment. There's so many other factors that can, in this world where especially women aren't taught to trust their bodies, or there's so many quick fixes, or even if they're not quick, it's like, okay, go get this treatment or do this thing or get on this medication. And I just kept coming back to, I really trust my body. Like I have this inner knowing and I have this clarity within myself. And it could be because, we do so much nervous system work. It could be because I've been on this path of knowing myself from having traumas, pretty very brutal traumas in my early teens that I trauma cycled for at least 20 years. But throughout the way, I've always been asking for help, coming back to myself and knowing like I'm just getting back to the truest me that there was. These traumas are just sitting on top of those. And these miscarriages and losses were no different. They were traumatic. They were like, why, what is happening? But it just kept inviting me back to ask myself, do I trust myself? Do I know myself? Like, am am I feeling worthy enough to keep stepping forward in my truth, like in for the highest good of all? And this pregnancy now is feels like a culmination of like all of my experiences, like even the losses. It's just like, okay, here we are, and this feels like almost like a physical manifestation, a transformation in my body, even though it's confronting because you know a body changing when I've struggled to embrace all of my body. Like it really, there's so many lessons here for me to keep trusting deeper into my self-love, into my worthiness, and then emulate that for the world. People can see it on the outside of me now too, and I represent something, probably something different to everybody, but being in that ritual space, in that retreat space, my, pregnant belly, brought a different kind of magic to the sea of goddesses and royals that really I felt it. And so I got to step into that and trust that and own it and claim it, and then like bring that to everybody else and whatever that meant to them. But it really felt like such a gift and such like a snapshot in time that I'm like, okay, like this is for all of us. Like this is like there's life force energy here growing. There, like you said, two heartbeats here. Like we are like growing life. And it was so magical to feel like nature there with everyone. And yeah, so that's my reflection in this moment of time, July 11th, 2025.
Just got lost in like
Yes.
getting into it.
Yeah.
And I hear you keep saying trust and trust
Mhm.
and trust. And thank you for sharing your journey.
Mhm.
And your journey is so deep and so fragile,
Mhm.
but so powerful too,
Yeah.
because there was always that trust that carried over inside of you as a seed, as a compass. So you
Yeah.
knew somehow you had the sense, I must trust the
Mhm.
body, the self, the loss, the grief, the beginnings, the endings. Like, Lindsay, that's a lot.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
also a lot to comprehend, a lot to take on, and also a lot for your nervous system. However, you're
Mhm.
still here,
Yeah.
going stronger, more steadier, more concrete. So, how do you, I mean, it's a silly question to ask you, how do you see yourself now? Because
Yeah.
I can see you differently and I can sense you
Mhm.
differently.
Mhm.
But
I don't think it's a
you're
silly
in,
question.
oh,
Yeah.
you want to answer?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But were you going somewhere else with that? I can weave it in to where you were going.
Yeah, because the I'm excited to explore the inner worlds that just manifest in outer, and
Mm.
I get to be just you know, like almost like witnessing you from the outer world. But to get to the outer world, there's so much going on inside, right?
Yeah.
And there's this so much conditioning and preconditioning. I'm really curious to feel your truth. And how did you come back to it as the compass, as the North Star, as
Mm.
how, and if you can maybe pull the moment where the loss became the opportunity, the
Mhm.
grief became, you found the strength in your grief.
Mhm.
That moment of realization, that moment when you just stood up and you continued life and you
Mm.
continued experience and you were open, even bigger. Your heart was open. You also trusted and you also desired. There was this longing and hope for more of experience. Either way it comes in. How do you recognize these moments and how do you feel them? How do you say yes to them?
Yeah. No, such a beautiful question. I have a really strong inner vision. Like I feel like something that comes to me is just having visuals, even when I even before I started the work and all of that, I could see it was almost like I was going through these realms. This was back being, late teens probably, and I felt myself like far away, but knowing I was trying to reach what I now call, my highest self. Like I was like, okay, there I am over there, up there, here I am here, how I know that I'm going to keep like crawling and there is a goal for me to get to because I know her. I just feel really distant from her right now. And
Hmm.
in my experiences when I had um, traumas and violence with other people, the way that it made sense to me and my inner knowing and how I would put that into a visualization is I have this light in me. And I felt like when I would have those, it felt like people in those dark times wanted to take my light. Like I was like, why is this happening to me? It was almost like my light was too confronting for them. And so I would put myself in situations where then my light would dim, but then I'd remember my light, and then my light would become confronting for the people that I chose to be in a relationship with. And so my superhero journey was to keep claiming my light and not dimming it, even though I was now subconsciously knowing I was putting myself in positions where I almost, needed my light to be tested because I wasn't trusting it enough. And so now that I've had all these experiences with like playing with my light, losing my light, feeling like I needed to protect my light, I have now this other form of light growing in me, and I get to like protect it for the both of us. And like I feel like a fairy in the woods sometimes because a lot of my work, like what you're referring to, is not with words. I don't know how to put it into a 90-second visual for Instagram that's made for consumption. And so I'm like, well, if you find me, you know, I can help you and we can work together and I will mirror to you your light. Um, and so what I just try to do is live that and be that and know that everything that's meant for me and for others will find me and us. But I just keep coming back to my light and my trust and my knowing and just let it let it shine. And especially in those safe spaces, I really get to be that full express self. And it's just also for me to remember to integrate that back into the everyday world.
which is a task to do.
Yeah, it is. Truly.
So I'm curious, you said between the higher self and
Mm,
you, there was a big, 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 big length, almost big space in between. And as you became aware of your values and your qualities and who you are and who you're becoming,
mm,
the space in between got smaller.
mm-hmm.
Okay. And where
Yeah.
is she now around you?
Yeah, that's such a beautiful question. Oh, I feel like she's around me just how I was around you when I was holding you in that way. Like
Mhm.
she is my mountain. Like, yeah, she is
Yeah.
the temple.
And how do you feel your relationship with her now?
Hmm. And I believe she always was there. She always was there in right behind me as my temple, but that way that you phrase it, my relationship with her, my knowing of her is I can trust in that. I that big, big, big space was representational of the lack of trust that I had in myself. And so even though she was always there, she never left. It was more of a representation of me me trusting who I am and myself um and not making myself smaller. So those spaces between my higher self seem so vast.
Mm. And isn't it interesting? It's funny how you're about to birth a creative force and gift
Hmm.
it to the world. And then you and your child are going to be so attached that you will feel everything that your child is feeling. And the child is going to recognize the world slowly in its growth, right? So it's going to learn about the world. And
Mm.
at some point, it's going to need to separate itself
Yeah.
from what was representation of the universal force of the
Yeah.
higher self. So much so that almost the 20s to me sound like we're kind of self in our own self-discovery process where we have to isolate so much, where we have to almost be alone in our mind, alone in our experience, so lonely in
Yeah.
order for us to feel the need to tune in and connect again with ourselves. So this like waving of being together and being alone separated self and kind of growing a fake sense of what the world is and who I am in the world, and then the self-discovery, oh my god, I am one, and all of this waving back and forth, back and forth. What a life, what a life
Truly.
ride.
Yeah. Yeah, those developmental stages, even though they seem painful and isolating, they they offer gifts, those silence, those we don't have a lot of initiations in our, at least the American culture that I am surrounded by, but I believe those times of like, his name is Zen. So when Zen and I will be so attached, and then there will be a time where he will, need to find his own way and find out who he is without me. I will probably physically feel that. And so, even knowing logically that that is a healthy developmental stage, yeah, I think there are some cool gifts about the I'm 40 years old, so like I've had some life experience just like time-wise, and then the texture of my life experience has been yeah, very textured. And so just to even get to look back on my own life experience and say like, oh, I trust this. And since I trust myself and I know that I have gone to the lowest lows and the highest highs, like I trust Zen can do that as well. And with me being the mountain, the temple, that I can stay secure in my own nervous system and resonance, that I'm a safe place to come back to, for him to show up as himself, whoever he chooses to be, or ever whoever he finds out that he is, on the full spectrum, and just
Yeah.
loving all parts of their experience.
Yeah. And do you feel that there is exchange of unspoken qualities between you two? And I'll rephrase why I said this. I spoke to my mom yesterday and I said,
Mhm.
you know, I'm 40 years old too. I round
Yeah.
up. I round up.
I love that.
And
Cool.
when I get to 70, I'll probably round down, whatever.
I don't know. I
So,
think you'll be like, I'm 75. Yeah.
yeah, I'll be true then.
Mhm.
But I talked to my mom and I said, you know, there's certain things that you engraved in me, imprinted in my experience of life that carried over much later now. And without those qualities, you never actually explained to me what it means to be kind. How do you teach this? You
Mhm.
don't. You never explained to me what freedom is. You
Mhm.
couldn't teach me what fairness is. What is the justice, for example, but not the judicial justice and who is right and who is wrong, but rather than what is the truth of life? What is the truth of being? What is your authentic truth? Who are you? Like,
Mhm.
why being unique is necessary in
Yeah.
this life? Why standing alone is not that bad and scary,
Yeah.
right? It's like, how did you, and then I ask her, how did you do this? Because I stand for all of these qualities now in life
Mhm.
wholeheartedly. And I
Yes.
never went to school. You never actually, you gave me a bad example in life. Like you had issues, you were crying all the time, you
Yeah.
divorced, you told me love is not to infinity, you know, but you
Mhm.
taught me the qualities as if you transfer them into me to experience them in my own unique way. And this comes from the mother, but this comes
Mhm.
from available to from a cosmic mother too. And
Yeah.
it's very hard to find this elsewhere.
Mhm.
It's almost impossible to find it out there. You can see the example of it,
Mhm.
but the only way to find it is your self discovery. So you are speaking such qualities to me that
Mm.
are unexplainable because you are radiating them out now.
Thank
So,
you.
question. Does it take the crisis? Does it take the depth of the other side of the coin that we're all avoiding through pain and suffering and sorrow? And does it take to touch the depth of the underworld within us to bounce off and see the equal amount of the light in life?
Mm. I that is such a yeah, would never wish it on anyone, and I don't want to go back and experience those experiences, and they absolutely made me who I am today. Like, I have gotten to the place where I have so much gratitude for those underworld experiences. Like, we even do something at the retreat that really mirrors this experience of going into the underworld, that a lot of the Greek goddesses, we see that their story was only bliss and amazingness and just getting everything that they wanted, then there wasn't the richness and the texture of their lives. We wouldn't keep reading. We wouldn't keep, they wanted to know what it was like to have the full spectrum of life. And I can appreciate things in others so much more deeply. I resonate unspokenly with people's pain, even if people don't know much of my story. I believe that they trust me, that I'm sitting in the mud with them, and I just know. So yes, I believe, at least speaking for myself, that those such deep pits of hell really allow me to, like, taste life and appreciate all of it, because I know I know how bad it's been, and I know the work that I've done and the help that I've asked for that has been non-traditional forms of help and support that have really helped me elevate and see the magic of life.
Mm.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'm really thankful that I haven't led like just the American dream life because I
Mm.
feel like I know I've seen the other side and and it's like I know something that a lot of people don't and a lot of people do, and then I can say like I see you and I'm here for
Mm.
you.
Yeah. And it's unexplainable. And it
Yeah.
doesn't take a crisis in life to lose something on a physical level, right? That can also be, but that's
Mhm.
what we think when we think a crisis. It's almost like a catalytic um, physicality.
Yeah, it
But
could be anything. Somebody's crisis could be a breakup, and somebody else's breakup could be like, oh, that was great. Like, thank God we broke up. And somebody else's breakup was like, that was a crisis. That flipped my world upside down. Or it could be, something super brutal and violent that we then say, oh yeah, that's a crisis. But it's whatever, however your nervous system holds it
Mhm.
is the definition of the crisis. It's up to the individual to decide or feel what that crisis, what that trauma is to them. It's not for the outside world to name or judge.
Yeah, and it comes with a lot of growing the awareness and capacity to hold. And lately, I've been thinking about, okay, we all want pleasure and love. So I am drunk on love a lot since
Yes,
retreat. Drunk, I'm like
yes.
starry-eyed. But if I want this much pleasure, I better be ready to hold the opposite of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And am I honest with myself? And this happens when I go to bed, right? This is the most private part of you that talks to you. Nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to be, it doesn't, not publicized. It's within you.
Yeah.
And am I ready to sit here and ask such a raw question and give the answer to myself? Can I sit? Can I meet myself in the other part of where I don't want to go? And not that I don't want to go, my mind is doing such a good job not to let me get in.
Totally.
And from the first to the second to third, and he's just going to give me the menus again and again. I don't even have a space to enter unless I'm aware and unless I actually intentionally come in and say, oh, I'm actually feeling longing. I am
Mm-hmm.
feeling that my love is endless. I'm feeling that love is hurting me for whatever reason. There are many reasons. I am feeling loneliness. I
Mm-hmm.
am feeling desperation. I am feeling these like really, really pits of hells,
Yeah.
hallways. And how long can I sit in it? Is my heart actually really breaking, or is my mind breaking my heart? And can
Mm-hmm.
I recognize the difference between the two of what my narratives are and versus what I'm actually feeling? Do I feel I want to burst out of my skin right now? And how do I deal with that? So growing capacity for the underworlds that can come in many formats
Yeah.
is, I think, what expands us a lot.
Yes.
Thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah. The thoughts that I have are even when our mind doesn't let us feel those feelings or, attach to those, I think our body does.
Mm.
And so and I would love to hear also what your thoughts are too, but I think it shows up in ways that culturally we've suppressed or not learned because they are so nuanced. Just how you were talking about with your mom, which I would love to hear a podcast between you and your mom. But but how you were sharing with your mom, all of these things like how do you teach freedom? How do you teach that love is infinite or isn't? Like those nuances, I think our body teaches that and it's learning to trust and listen to it. So you might feel really tired over and over again, and that's your body giving you a cue of something. And so, or you might break out in a rash or have more energy to like go be social or go climb that hill or you don't and you feel like I need to isolate and be in, or it could be bigger, like you could get a rash or something, or you have GI issues. So it's learning to understand the somatic experiences that your body is always giving cues for, and asking questions, and like you're saying, and to be able to hold the answer, sitting there and really listening and trusting that the messages that your body are for you. And then what are you going to do with them? And then if you feel like, I don't know if I can hold this by myself, finding someone you trust, whether that be a professional or a friend, to help hold it with you, or to witness you, or to make you feel like, yeah, I trust you too. Like, you know this. We've got this. Let's explore maybe something that's beyond something that you haven't explored yet. And like, let's get creative.
Yeah, let's discover. And
Hmm.
we're talking about many layers right now. You and I are actually tapping into what the mind, we're operating out of the mind 99% of the time.
Yeah.
And what we believe the mind is saying, we take it as the truth and it's not. And what
Hmm.
you're introducing is the layer of the body that knows itself and has its own language. That we have to learn it and to
Yes.
learn how to talk to it, its own language, and understand, which is ironically actually how we have to learn how to talk to anybody, not
Yeah.
only our body. It's like you, as my beloved, you
Hmm.
don't speak my language of love, of appreciation, of pain. You don't. And for
Hmm.
me to understand you, I have to actually learn your language. But I
Beautiful.
also have to learn my language of the body
Yeah.
and language of my energy layer and language of my heart, another layer, and
Hmm.
language of my soul. These are layers and layers and layers. So I am multi-layered person.
And language
Or,
of your pussy too.
oh yes, let's not forget that. Very important. And thank you for bringing it up. Yes. And but you need to learn it first, and then have someone who wants to learn your language, but also it doesn't come with just them learning yours. You have to be willing to learn someone else's language. We have a lot to learn
Yeah.
and to listen and to tune in. So, which language do you prefer to out of all of this?
Like, where should we begin?
Where should we begin?
Yes. Um,
What's your main language, I guess? Which one do you talk to others?
I
And
think
which one?
my
Mhm.
heart, my heart, is the language that resonates with me the most. And yeah, I really love how you really highlighted, like, we have to know our own language first, because ultimately our job in life and relationships is to teach others how we want to be treated, and who we are. So many of us are people pleasers, that we get lost in the flow of things, because at an early age, as you know, we were taught to merge, to enmesh, to chameleon with somebody, so we stayed relevant, so we assimilated, so we didn't get kicked out of the tribe, and we belonged. And so what we get to do is to learn our language first, and then teach it teach it to others. And even when we're
Mhm.
making repair, there was an experience at the retreat where I wanted to make sure that I was giving opportunity feedback to someone and making repair in the way that was their language, not just what felt comfortable for me, of like, I'm gonna share something that might be a little bit tender, but please teach me your language of how you like to receive some opportunity feedback, and then like how we can go from there. So I think that's really important too. Um, and like, where can
Yeah.
we both say our truths and hold it together? I think we get a lot further, because we don't know each other's language. There's going to be a lot of like oops and ouches along the way. So feeling like we can trust ourselves and the other person to say, I feel safe enough to share my precious language with you and that you can hold it too and that you really want to learn it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
key. And that's that blending and mutuality. It's like my heart speaks different. It has a different vocabulary.
Mhm.
You say you go and you talk heart language most of the time. How is that for you? What is the quality of your heart language?
Mm. What is the quality of my heart language? I'm like, as the receiver, I'm like, what do you feel is the quality of my heart language?
At the retreat, you spoke energy language to me.
Mhm.
There was no words, just energy blending and energy holding each other and modifying and moving and relaxing and disappearing and becoming.
Mhm.
That's your English, English language, energy language,
Yeah,
English.
I love that.
Your heart to me, I receive, your heart language, I receive very soft and very loving.
Mhm.
And this Lindsay today is very protective. And I think it might come with your quality of motherhood and
Mhm.
mothership that you're entering into and learning about. But it comes really, I got you. And I don't even need to say it. And also comes with like so much openness, but also so much like, when I'm open to love you and then I go with this much love towards you. It's like presence. It's like pure
Yeah.
presence, but it's not forceful. It's not aggressive. It's not fighty. It's not fiery and fiery. It's
Mm.
very almost like rich, rich.
Yeah.
And would you agree? Is that
Yeah,
my
it is helping me to even like articulate my anglage, my heart anglage.
language? Oh my God. And the soul language to me feels experiential
Mhm.
and feels almost like evolving, almost I want to evolve, desire to grow, desire to really become something and be
Mhm.
part of something else
Mhm.
bigger than me. It's almost like that's the connection that you have with your higher self, with something that you can't even comprehend, but yet it's there and it
Mhm.
speaks its own language. And how would you
Yeah,
differentiate them? I like to
I love
mythologize
that.
about it.
Thank you for that. That really that gave me something to sink my teeth into. I felt like my theme that just naturally came up to me at the retreat and even in my work as a coach is empowering. Like I really want, and I know that word gets used a lot, but I really felt a shift in the field where it was collaborative and empowering with consent. Like those pieces all need to be there. Like you said, like even though my heart is open, I'm not like reaching, like I won't come into your space without consent. And then when I'm there, since I've now been invited and welcomed into, my role is to be that mirror of empowerment so we can both keep elevating higher. And it's a symbiotic relationship too. Like I'm getting off on it as well. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
using somebody to get off on it, but it's such once we click in together, we get to consensually go on that ride together.
Yeah.
Um, and we can that those retreats are to go deeper into ourselves so we can take others that deep with us. So because it's a professional certification program, we are learning how to deepen more into ourselves, into our depths, into those layers. So then we can say, I've been there, come back and say, hey, let me be your guide. I will keep my nervous system, pure and calm and centered. So when there's parts that you have not yet been to, I can co-regulate with you and you can trust me that we can go those deeper levels that your mom might have not taught you, culture did not teach you, conditioning did not. So, like, here I am and we are together. You can hold my hand and we've got this.
And we died together.
Yeah,
And
yes.
I don't know how deep it can go, but we're in it together. And I think there's so much to say where you have someone to holding space in general, but rather than when you know that you're not alone, and because going down into a deeper ocean of the darkness or the depth of the ocean is really scary. But when somebody's there, like you said, to mirror, it is really daring.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you feel this strength inside of you to
Mhm.
do it. And that's the quality. And those are the qualities that you can only do with another, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you need another. And that's where undeniably we need each other to hold in such moments of self discovery, because it's not
Hmm.
that I am telling you as a coach what you need to do,
Hmm.
as my experience. No, I am allowing you and I'm telling you I'm there with you while you are discovering it on your own, and you're not alone.
Yes. And I just heard yesterday on a podcast, so it's not my own thoughts, but I highly agree with it that Maslow's hierarchy of needs got it wrong, that relationally is comes before food and water. They were saying like most people don't die by suicide because they're so hungry. They might choose to die by suicide because they are lonely, because there isn't that relationship. So I feel and I agree with this perspective that relationships is the foundation of our getting our needs met. And so we totally need each other, and I just want to keep reinforcing that and showing up as a friend, as a partner, as a mother, as a coach, as a leader, of just being like, I'm here, I've got you. I feel confident and proud of how much I know I can hold. And like, I want to show you what's possible. And I'm here to hold it with you while you build up the strength to to feel what I'm feeling now too. It's in you too. And I'm here to mirror that back to you.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
and I know that to be truth
Thank you.
because I can feel it.
Mhm.
And to feel someone else's truth is the capacity of
Mhm.
all of us. When you tune in into your own truth, you're able to recognize it right away in someone else and trust it. But only when you learn how to trust that. Otherwise, we're trusting blindly,
Mhm.
trusting desperately rather than trusting with the full on surrender. With
Mhm.
that trust inside to trust you and you who hold space, I trust myself to surrender to you and give to you my full vulnerability without worrying and being stressed out. Will you put the salt on my wound? And I'm
Mhm.
about to crack open even more and more and more. And cracking open more and more is me becoming.
Which is how I feel on your podcast, Melissa. Like, seriously, the space that you hold and just the mirror that you hold back to me, I feel like you are the mountain, and I get to experience just like leaning into you and feeling all of your love and what you can hold and how you use language and energy language, English, to
English.
just, yeah, elevate all of me and us. And I just feel your presence so deeply. And I feel love drunk as well, just being here. So thank you for gifting that to me. It is like such a blissful experience to be held by you in this way.
It's so mutual. It's so mutual. And I love you. I have so much love for you.
Mhm. Ah, same sister. I love you so much. And I'm so happy that I get to bring a baby into this world that you will be in. And that
Yeah.
just makes my heart explode.
Yeah, let's
Mhm.
celebrate. Ooh, exactly on time.
I
I
love
mean,
it.
this felt like 5 minutes with you.
I
Thank
know.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I
Yeah,
love you and I'll
I love
see
you. Let me
you.
show you my belly.
Oh, let's see.
Mhm.
Ooh. Mm. It's time for some sexy pictures. Are you
Yes,
doing the photo shoot?
I am late September. Yeah, when I'm
Oh,
more belly.
already prepared.
Yes, yes,
Go
yes.
shine.
All right,
Okay.
babe. Thank you
I love you
so
both.
much. I love you too.
Okay.
Bye.
Ciao.